What is up, guys? I'm in the basketball New York Knicks jersey because you know why? It is officially basketball and baseball time. The season's over, and this means for the channel is that I'm probably going to continue posting football-related content, but there might be a sprinkle of some baseball once that starts, or some basketball once that starts, and March Madness too. I'll be making some content about that. But as of right now, until the draft, or no, maybe until March Madness, because the March Madness is before the draft, you will be seeing more and probably playoff basketball. You'll be probably seeing a little more content of, I don't know, just football off season shit. So I made a video about McCarthy. I made a video about Minch. I made a video about Harbaugh. I think I made a video about someone else. I think that's it. Oh, and Salah. I want to talk about Kubiak today. If you guys have been watching my content like religiously, which no one has, but I don't know. It's just who I am. I love Clint Kubiak. He's a young head coach. He did wonders in Seattle. He did really well in Seattle. He's proven himself in the NFL level. He did a really good job with Seattle and Jackson Smith and Jigma, and especially Sam Darnold and that running back duo, the offensive line. Literally name it. He did a really good job because he was calling plays there, and he was a very good offensive mind. That's why the Raiders taking a chance on him. I actually really like this. I really like the roster and the construction and just the regular. And I just want to talk about how well this roster is constructed. So let me get my first thoughts out. With Mendoza going to the Raiders, it's like 99% sure Mendoza's going to the Raiders. Sometimes I just forget that he's just going to the Raiders. Sometimes Mendoza's existence voids from my brain. But yeah, he's just there. And he's going to go to the Raiders probably. I mean, there's no way the Raiders don't select him. There's no one better than Mendoza, which has more team value than Mendoza. And he's proven it. Heisman, undefeated season, national champion. Come on, it's just easy. And he's a leader. It's a pretty surefire pick. So with Mendoza, let's go look at this, because Geno Smith is not going to be playing quarterback for them at all either. So this offense is honestly more sneaky explosive, and I think this Raiders offensive line can really move some pieces around. Maybe move JPJ back to center, which he's drafted for. That'll work a lot more. And maybe take some guards in later on, because the guard class isn't terrible. The tackle class isn't terrible. There's better, but it isn't terrible. It's fairly deep. So pause. I want to look at this roster construction. I want to see how they can do it. And also, I keep on always forgetting when I wrap it up. Bowers and Gentry will be crucial to this team, especially Bowers. Bowers, when he's healthy, he's like top dog. Like really, he's the top dog. And you can see why tight ends are taking higher now. You've seen this. Sadiq might go higher. Bowers is taking 9th. Who else is taking high? I don't know. Ingram back in the day was taken high. Loveland and Warren were taken high last year. So there's a lot of tight ends going early, and I think the tight ends are kind of crucial to some of these teams. The Chiefs with Kelsey, obviously the Raiders with Bowers, the Kittle with for the 49ers. Obviously Kelsey and Kittle were both day 2, day 3 picks, but these tight ends have been very, very good. And you saw how the 49ers offense crumbled when Kittle wasn't there, because one, he lost your receiving threat too. He was a really good receiving threat and a blocking threat for the 49ers. I think Bowers kind of reminds me of Kelsey, where he can get open, and he's also pretty good at blocking too. So that's why he's taking so highly overall. And that pick has been hit. And then Gentry too, we were taking him 6th overall last year, and he didn't have a great season because, you know why? The offensive line was terrible. Geno Smith was terrible, so they kind of expected Gentry to try to run. So they couldn't really do anything. And I'm not blaming Gentry at all. I think Gentry really got the short end of the stick here. He was always caught behind the yard line of scrimmage because his offensive line just let them go through. It's like, you know, like the gif of like the security guard just doing that. It's like the gif of the really crappy security guard at like that concert or something, and it's just really funny to me. And so yeah, let's take a look at this roster. Gentry will be a huge part, same with Bowers, and I think with Mendoza and Kubiak, they can really do a good job. And the deal was finalized today. I think it was today. So let's take a look. So obviously with Pete Carroll gone, this team is obviously looking for a bounce back here. I don't know why people were so high on the Raiders earlier this year. I thought they were going to be really bad because it didn't work out in Seattle last year. Why would it work out now? Obviously, Carroll, Geno Smith didn't work out, so here's what it is. Jack Bash didn't have a great year either, and Thornton was fine. Trey Tucker was okay. Ashton Gentry was good. with what he had, he was pretty good. I think he was really underappreciated. He had 975 yards without the shit O line, that really terrible O line. I know he's really low on average, but he had almost 1,000 yards with that terrible O line. And then the problem with also is that I don't know why he's probably on IR, but Brock Bowers isn't here, so Brock Bowers was always injured and he was shut down for a majority of the season. And that was the problem with some of the teams, that they were just injured too. And then the Christian Wilkins getting released was big because they threw a lot of money at that guy and it didn't really work. And then Devin White is old. Jamal Adams is old. This team is just like on the defensive side of the ball. There's nothing really to look forward to, and they gotta just start from scratch, which sucks. But they have the right coach to do it because this offense can be really explosive. I don't know about the defense. They got to see what coordinators they had and whatever, all that. But with other than Max Crosby, it's not that great, and that's the problem. I think JPJ can be really good at center again when he was drafted for, and Forsyth was not great. Actually, I don't think he was terrible. I don't know. Forsyth was very bad in in Seattle, but this team on the offensive side of the ball was pretty good. On the defensive side of the ball, it gets a little questionable because again, old guys all around. Adams, Devin White, obviously not in their prime. Max Crosby says he kind of wants out. I mean, he's kind of implemented that, and he's been upset with how the team is treated him, and he's been sitting out. And yeah, so I don't know. I just think that if you build around Mendoza, you can win, because you saw what he did with Indiana. He can really win. Like you can really understand that he can win if you just build around this offense and just spend some hit on some picks on day 2, day 3 on the defense. You should be good. I think you can maybe work with, obviously Lockett is another old guy on this team, but if you can work with these 3 guys right here, maybe develop Jack Batch, even Trey Tucker to an extent. He wasn't great, but you know it's serviceable. He's not the greatest wide receiver one in the world, but it's serviceable. And use Genty and giving Mendoza and Bowers a good connection would low-key be pretty good. I just think that too. This team, I think, is the worst roster in the NFL probably, and it shows with the 3-14 first overall pick. But there's hope. There's hope in Las Vegas. So that's my roster outlook. Let's go back to the big camp. But yeah, basically my outlook is that this is a really good hire for a toughly oriented team, because this team is very old in some standpoints. It's not like they had success with the old players like Washington and they just took a step back this year. It was very old from the start and it didn't really work out, and Pete Carroll just bought a bunch of like old Seattle players like Forsyth, Adams, Lockett, like all those guys, and those guys didn't pan out. Obviously Geno Smith, obviously I'm really the biggest guy, Geno Smith, that didn't pan out obviously, and I just didn't like this from the start, and I'm glad that they moved on and Brady moved on, and all those guys in the organization, front office, ownership, all moved on, because that's the right decision. And just taking Kubiak, a young head coach, like I said in the Mike Macdonald video, or the offensive, I think what video was it? The predictions for the awards, when I said Mike Macdonald deserved Coach of the Year, is that these younger coaches deserve these new chances, and if it doesn't work out, like you know, like kind of like what the Giants did, right? I don't want to glaze them or anything, but they took Brian Daboll, didn't have a prior head coaching experience in the NFL level. It didn't work out, so they go with Harbaugh. That's fine. Someone like the Steelers, which they're wrong, was Mike McCarthy again had good experience in the NFL, but it was always mediocre experience, right? There was one Super Bowl win, and it was consistent above 500 seasons. Didn't make a deep run in the playoffs all the time, or choked in the playoffs. It's just like that, right? You don't want those type of guys if you're the Raiders, because if you want to continue being mediocre and continue making the playoffs and losing first and second round, go hire Mike Tomlin. But you guys wanted to make a statement like the Bears did with Ben Johnson, make a statement, get a young offensive minded coach, because this is like Ben Johnson's hire. This is a great pick for the Raiders, and probably the most explosive coach on the market. And I'm glad they got it too, with an explosive quarterback in Mendoza, and a quarterback who will die on the field. Let's lock in, and let's get this shmoney. I think this is a great hire. Don't quote me, but maybe Mendoza wins Rookie of the Year. Who knows? That kid can do it. But this is great pick. just got dropped a little bit. It's not gonna be instant success in 1 or 2 years. It's probably take 2, 3, or 4, but that's better than waiting your entire eternity and keeping Geno Smith at quarterback for the next 3 years. So take what you can get. Look at the bright side. It's not half empty. It's half full. There we go. That's the quote of the day. Thanks for watching as always. See you guys tomorrow.